Alright, y'all, welcome back. I'm going to talk about this because it's super important. So, basically, today we had camp testimonies. Basically, we came back from camp and we just talked about things that we learned. My biggest thing personally was that camp was really big for me. As backstory, I got saved at camp. Camp was always the thing that I could look forward to, where I knew there was at least 1 week out of the year where I would be okay. And so, knowing that this was my final day as a camper ever, it was pretty crazy. So, coming back, it was just really big. And on my way, standing in line, thinking about what was I really going to say, what was I going to go over, and then being cut short, being told, hey, you're not going to have a lot of time. You get 30 seconds. And it's like, what can you really say in 30 seconds, you know? I wish I went longer, but that's why I have this. So I get to say the things that I didn't get to say beforehand. And what I really wanted to say is just in this life, there are going to be a lot of times where you go through things where you're going to feel alone. You're going to feel like nobody's there for you. And it may be true. You know, there really might not be anybody there. You know, you try to reach out to people and nobody answers. You try to meet new people and nobody connects. But the truth is, when you continue to put yourself out there, you are going to find people who will stand by you. You will find people who will always be there for you no matter what. And those are going to be the people who are going to be your ride or dies and who are going to become people that you will remember forever, even if you don't know them forever. I can't tell you how many people in my life that I don't know anymore, don't talk to anymore, or pass by without saying anything that used to mean everything to me. But you really have to learn how to rely on people. I was so uptight. I was so just and it was all me. It wasn't the fact that I couldn't, it's the fact that I wouldn't. You know, I shut myself off. I closed myself off. I wasn't willing to talk about the things that I knew I needed to talk about, or I didn't even know that I needed to talk about. That's where it becomes you need these people who open you up in a different way. These people who just enlighten you in such a way that you can't not talk to them about it. And especially for anybody who goes to church camp, these are that's the times, especially if it's with your church, that you really need to open up, because you're going to then meet people who are going through the same things you're going through. You're going to meet people who are struggling the same way you're struggling. And then that's where you get to bond and really talk. I'm not saying it's going to go smoothly. I have a ton of church hurt. You know, I'm an adult now, so I don't go to youth anymore, so I get to speak on my youth career, and it's just like a lot of pain. So much pain. But there's also so many great moments that I've had because I opened myself up. And also, as you get older, you start to see that vulnerability creates vulnerability. When you are vulnerable and you open yourself up, that's actually what opens other people up as well, to then you can form these relationships that, like right now, me and my friend Max, we've only been friends for about a year and a half now. However, we are so vital in each other's lives, and we barely do anything without each other, and we hang out all the time. And even though he has a car, like, I still drive him everywhere, and like, that's my little brother, man. And he means the world to me, but it's only because of how much we've talked. It's only because of how much we've gone through, how much we fought through together, that it really is why we are so deeply rooted with each other. And that's the importance of, again, opening up to community and being in community. I think the biggest thing for me, at least when I'm encouraged by it, is it says in Ecclesiastes 4 9 through 12 that one man standing alone shall surely die, but two standing back to back can defend each other, or two can lay down and keep each other warm. And a triple braided cord is not easily broken, meaning, how big is your cord gonna be? Are you gonna have three other people? Are you gonna have four other people? Two other people? Like, what is your group? And the tighter and tighter that y'all can get, the stronger and stronger that y'all will be. A triple braided cord. It's not just three strings, it's three woven strings that can make it so strong. And those are the relationships that'll get you through the times. Again, they're not going to answer every time. They're not going to be there every time. But there are going to be people who you can rely on, who you can go to. And don't ever be discouraged, because my whole testimony was over Romans 8:28, Romans 8:28, Proverbs 16:4, I think, Genesis 50:20, and Romans 8:18, while also tossing in, as I've already said, Ecclesiastes 4:9 through 12, but also John 13:7, which says, "You're not going to understand what I'm doing now, but you will later." And that's the thing, where we're going to go through so many things where we just genuinely don't understand what's going on, but one day we will, whether it's a time here on earth or a time in heaven. And that's just something that we have to walk through. And you can't do it alone. You cannot do it alone. I know, because I've tried. And every time that I've tried to do it by myself, let's just say it has not gone greatly. And I'm very lucky to still be here speaking to y'all today. But that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. Just the importance of community, the importance of being in community, the importance of finding your people. And the thing is, if you're ever out there who's like, I had my people and I lost them, just know, one, they could come back. They absolutely could. And if you're like, no, there's absolutely no way, one, I can totally agree. I know there are people who are like, yeah, they will literally never be a part of my life ever again. But there's also people who have said, nah, there's no way I'll ever, have them again. And, 4 years later, I still have them. And it's crazy to think about. However, it's only if we continue to put our effort in, if we continue to pray, if we continue to reach out, if we continue to be somebody who's willing to be open. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that it's not going to hurt. I'm not saying that there's not going to be times where somebody disappoints you or fails you, because there will be. But at the end of the day, like, have strength and have confidence knowing it's a super exciting time to be able to be friends. Your friends in high school or middle school or wherever you are, if you have the chance to go to a youth and build community, that is really important. And if you have some type of hurt, don't worry. I was in a youth from 7th until 11th grade, and I thought I was going to be there forever, and I wasn't. God told me to move, and so I moved, and I went another place for my 12th grade year, and I had an interesting experience there, but I knew that it was time to move again, and thankfully I got an extra year due to the fact that I skipped a grade. So I had a shot to have 5 years in high school by taking a sort of super senior year, aka just going to back to where I should be, and I got to finish out my final 6 months of high school at a new youth, and I get to finally leave on a great note. We just came back from camp. That's kind of, again, going back to the beginning of the video, where I really wanted to take this is just like, now being fully removed from youth as a student and about to step into my chapter as a counselor, it's very exciting. And I'm super excited to now share my experiences of my youth career. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. So if you're not a part of a youth, I would really recommend joining one, because there is so much. I mean, just genuinely so much in store that God works through. And hey, if it's not a good one, try a different church. It's super easy as anyone who doesn't have a car to be like, nah, like, the youth just isn't it. I would encourage you in two ways. One, if you have a car, go try out different youths, go try out different churches. Find the one where you feel like the God is totally calling you to, and pray about it, and he will tell you. And if you don't have a car or an ability to get around or transfer, and you are stuck at the youth that you're at, continue to meet people over and over. I mean, meet everybody, because I guarantee you there's someone in that youth who feels the exact same way you do. And do not be scared to start that conversation, because I know for me, the longest friends that I've had are people who the only reason I met them is because nobody else wanted them either. And so we became the group of outcasts, and we're still friends to this day, 5 years later. And the original group is they pretended like they didn't even know each other the next year, and that's just what's so amazing. And that's the shot that we get, and it's our chance to take it. And I really just want to encourage anybody who's experienced youth or church hurt, keep going, because God's not finished. God's not done. There's other places, there's other people. I know it's hard. Believe me, I know it's hard. But I really, really do know that God moves. And if you ever have an opportunity to go to camp, figure out a way to go, because it is 100% worth it if you go 100% all in on it. That's the only way church camp works, is if you're really willing to give it your full shot. Because I know for me, I'm an introvert. I don't like being away from home either. So camp where you're not just away from home for multiple days, you're also with a ton of other people all the time. It's really hard for someone like me, but it's where I think my purpose is, and I would just really encourage anybody to go, go and go sold out. Be, all in, whether that's in team spirit or in the competitions, but definitely in the spiritual side. Go with your Bible, go with the notebook, and really just be praying and tap in with the Lord. It's worth it. I promise you it's worth it. It'll be worth it every single time. And even if you don't feel like it in the moment, remember that there is always something more to come out of it. So that's my encouragement for today, kind of just late night thoughts that I was having. Again, just knowing there's any of y'all who are in high school, any of y'all who are in any stage of life, there's going to be spots where you feel so alone. But I guarantee you, if you truly work on building your community, if you're a girl, get a group of 5 other girls, so 6 girls including you, and really dive deep into a friendship. And if you're a guy, get 5 other guys, so 6 guys including you, and really, really grind to have the absolute best, just sibling mentality almost, of a group that you could possibly have, because you are the 5 closest people you are around. And if you can know that you have at least 2 other people that you can really, really go to, that will change your life in ways that I wish I knew when I was a kid. But this is for all stages of life. Just make sure that you have people, and watch how the Lord works, because He wants to use His people and He wants to use you. So get tapped in, lean in, get involved in a community any way you can, and then see where the Lord takes you, because this life sucks and this life is hard, but that's why we do it together. So thank y'all for watching, and remember that all the time God loves you, and just go have a great day.